I'm going to model 3 ways that you can think about a question like 5 divided by 2/10 when we're starting to think about division with whole numbers and decimals. A reminder from when we were thinking about division with fractions, we can think about this division question as how many times does 2/10 fit into 5? And this is kind of a handy way to think about any sort of division question to help you kind of make sense of your answer. So I've got a number line set up here that starts at 0, and each tick is worth 1/10. So one of the most simple ways that I could do this is to start counting up by 2/10 on my number line. So there's 1 hop, 2 hops, 3 hops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm just going to have to move my number line over here. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So this shows that 2/10 goes into 5 25 times. You might have noticed that I could start simplifying this a little bit too. If I know how many times, let's say, change my color here. So how many times 2/10 goes into 1? It goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So for every whole number, it's going in another 5 times. Well, I could take my initial, how many times does 2/10 go into 1, and then just multiply that out 5 times, and then I will have 25 as my answer as well. You can also show this with, I'm going to use base 10s, but we can use base 10s to show decimal numbers as well. So I'm going to lay out 5 wholes here. So instead of this representing 100, I'm going to have it represent 1 whole, which would mean that each little square on the grid is 1/10 or 100, 0.01. So if I asked you to shade in, on a hundreds grid, how many for 2/10? Most people would probably say that 0.2 or 2/10 would be this much, right? So this here represents 0.2, 2/10. So we could see how many times would I have to do that to fill in for each whole. Well, I would have to do that once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Again, if I do that 5 times per whole, I have 5 wholes. In total, I would need to add in those groups of 5/10 25 times. The last thing I want you to think about is money. So money can help simplify decimals a little bit. You could think about this as how many times would, or how many groups of 20 cents would you need to make up $5? So I could pull out 20 cents here. So there's 1 group of 20 cents, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know for each of that, it's equivalent or equal to $1. So I could just kind of expand this idea with these groups. So it was 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups, to make $1. So if I needed to make 5, I would need 5 times 5 of these groups, or 25.